Never, never. I was 28 or 29, I can't remember right now, but I was older when I got married. I knew exactly what might occur in my life, but despite the trepidation that I felt at the prospect of being married to a politician, there wasn't any question. I mean, once you fall in love with somebody, if you want to sit around and analyze it, you can, but that seems to me to be kind of a fruitless way to respond.
I should think you must get very tired, though, of being asked questions by people like me, newsmen like me, and by people in the general public about your decision not to use your husband's name.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't get tired of it. I think it's an understandable question. But for many of the things that we've just been talking about, the decision to keep my own name, particularly in my professional work, was one that seemed a very natural kind of decision because, as I said, I was older when I got married, and I had practiced law, and I had worked in Washington and Boston. I had written several articles, had developed something of a specialization in the area of children and family law, and I knew that we were going to be undergoing a great deal of scrutiny and a great deal of attention if Bill continued in politics, which he intended to do in some form or another. And since I wanted to continue practicing law, I really did not want to mix my professional activities with his political activities. I didn't want anyone ever to think that I was either taking advantage of his position or in some way riding on it. And there aren't very many ways to persuade people of that, but I thought it essential that I try to keep as much of a distinction between my legal career and my obligations as Bill's wife as I possibly could. Keeping my name was part of that, as well as the sort of professional reputation that I'd already built up.
Well, your husband won the governorship in a landslide, but we're still led to believe that it possibly could have cost him a few votes because your name is not the same as his.
I'm sure that it probably did, and I regret that very much. I regret any reason for someone voting against Bill other than on the basis of an honest disagreement with the issues. People voted against him because of his youth, I think. Some people may have voted against him because he was born in Hope instead of Jonesboro. I mean, there are all sorts of reasons why a voter might vote against a politician. They aren't good reasons in my mind. I think that as people get to know him better and as they watch him perform as governor, I think they will realize, those that voted for him, that their confidence was well placed, and those that did not, that perhaps they should take a second look.
Does it bother you that because you don't use your husband's name that people think you're too liberal? And after all, this is not a state known for liberalism.
Well, I don't know about that. Anita Bryant didn't take her husband's name either, and I don't think that she has a liberal image. I think a lot of people have images that are in no way related to reality. And there's really not much that one can do about that. Someone could come up with an image of either me or my husband or you that, if you were to sit down and talk with the person, would dissolve because you'd realize that your image was not in any way reflective of how that person acted or believed. And I can only hope that whatever image people might have of either me or Bill, they will hold in abeyance until they have an opportunity to meet us or to talk with us. Both of us are trying to get around the state and meet with people and visit with them and find out what's on their minds and share our concerns as well as our hopes about what we're going to do in the next couple of years. So I'm sure that some people have an image. Some people may think I'm too conservative. Some people may think I'm to this or to that. But I think that's another one of the dangers about being in public life. One cannot live one's life based on what somebody else's image of you might be. I suppose that there have been many wives of politicians who may have had serious problems personally because they were worried about the image that they had and as to whether or not that would hurt their husband. All one can do is live the life that God gave you, and you just do the best you can, and if somebody likes you or doesn't like you, that's really, in many ways, something you have no control over.